welcome to the May meeting of ANC 5D. Thank you all for coming. My name is Commissioner Adam Roberts. I'm the chair of the commission. And just if everyone could just do a roll call vote. So Commissioner Lewis is not here. Lewis 1.
I'm 5D02, Commissioner Shropshire.
I'm Adam Roberts from 5D03.
I'm Commissioner Bernice Bagnell, Vice Chair, 5D04.
Kathy Henderson.
Clarence Lee, 5D07.
And then Commissioner Bug from 5D06 is not here. So let the record reflect that 5 commissioners are present, 4 are required for quorum, so we do have a quorum. At this point, there have been 2 changes to the agenda that have been asked. So before we adopt that, on everyone's agenda, the item that is currently number 14, BZA case 19168. My understanding from Commissioner Shropshire is that that item will be removed.
No, just that the applicant will be requesting additional time for community input, and they're going to request a postponement of their current hearing date, which was scheduled for May 17th.
Thank you, Commissioner Shropshire. And the other change is, and this will be sort of the new number 14, but it will be under requested presentations, not under community action. A 5-minute presentation from Corey Powell of Dante Partners in reference to a project at Delta Towers. And again, that's just a presentation, not a vote, but that will be our new number 14 in terms of the order of development. So with those 2 changes, Commissioner, are there any other changes?
I have an addition.
Commissioner Henderson.
The issue that was tabled from the last meeting because the meeting went on beyond my ability to stay. The Williams Smith resolution, I want to put that back on the agenda.
I'll tell you that.
So I think,
No, I represent 10 of those 35 buildings and I want it on the
No,
agenda.
you represent 5.
I represent 10.
I was told
10.
by William C.
10.
Smith.
so
Not
commissioners, I think we can add the item to the agenda. We'll add
I'll
the
tell
item-
you.
Okay,
10.
We'll add the item to the agenda. The motion is to put that item on the agenda. When we get to that item, if there's a motion to table, we can entertain it then. So Commissioner
Get your
Henderson, what
facts straight,
exactly,
you don't have them.
Commissioner Henderson, what exactly is the item you'd like to add?
Williams, a resolution regarding the Jet 2 apartments. And let the record reflect that I represent 10 of the 35 buildings occupied by the Jet 2 Tenant Association. And if Commissioner Blacknell continues to put forth false information, I would
Commissioner Henderson,
refer her
got
to the
it.
Board of Elections where she can verify that information,
Okay.
because
got it.
my information is correct.
Commissioner Henderson, we're gonna try and keep on time. So we have a total of 3 changes. Item number 14, 1258 Holbrook is removed. We've added a presentation under item number 14 for Mr. Powell for Dante's Partners, and I've added number 16, William C. Smith, Jet 2 Partners from Commissioner Henderson. Are there any other amendments to the agenda, Commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Henderson.
I also think that this is the commission's meeting for commission business. This is not the mayor's meeting, and this is not the council members' meeting. So I think it is inappropriate to allot 5 minutes for the mayor's office and 5 minutes for the council member's office, and only 1 minute for commissioners' reports. So I want that objection to be noted and reflected.
Are you making that a form of motion, or are
It
you
is.
just noting that?
Well, yeah, I'm just noting that.
Thank you. So if there are no further changes to the agenda, I'm gonna go ahead and move to adopt the agenda with the 3 noted changes I just described.
I'll second.
Been moved and properly seconded. All for adopting the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
I count 4 ayes. Any opposed? Any abstentions? I count 4, 0, 1. The motion passes. The agenda is adopted. All right. First up, so we have the chairperson's report, and the chairperson's report was distributed out of the table. If you didn't get it, feel free to grab one either now on your way in. This is, again, the chairperson's report is something I do every month, and basically just describe the documents that have gone out and the documents that have come into the commission. Whenever we get these by email, I try and save some trees and share them with the commission by easy government email. But in short, you can see that the commission has either sent or received a total of 35 documents in the past month since our last meeting. Roughly 11 notices regarding zoning and public space were received, and then I can't do the math, that's about 20 alcohol licenses. For those that are wondering why some things are bolded and why some things are not, alcohol licenses that are bolded are licenses that are within ANC 5D. Licenses that are not bolded, we still have a 600-foot rule that gives the commission standing to protest those licenses, but they're not actually in our ANC. And then everything under other, again, are notices that questions from the commission?
Yeah, I have a question.
Commissioner
Oh, I
Henderson?
have a concern and a correction. In the chairperson's report, it's the last, number 4, the bullet item indicates that I said that, I don't have access to my official ANC email account, and that K Henderson 029
Are you addressing the minutes?
isn't this in your chairperson's report? I don't
Well,
have your-
right now I'm doing the May chairperson's report. If you wanna talk about minutes, we can get there. We'll get there.
Is this information in the chairperson's report? Because it says chairperson's report.
I'm not sure, but we'll get to minutes when we address that. Are there any other comments about the chairperson's report for May?
I don't even have it.
You don't. Alright, with that, so with that, it's just a report,
Okay.
there's nothing to accept, there's
Alright, I
nothing
have
to
it.
vote on. So next is the treasurer's report.
So our current, our ANC 5D quarter 2 report has been submitted to the Office of the Office of the Auditor. Our current balance is $69,461.18. There have been no transactions in our account.
Any questions from the commission about the treasurer's report? Alright, seeing none, we've got 30 seconds back. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the meeting minutes from April. These minutes were distributed 1 week ago today. I've also printed hard copies for the commissioners as well as for the public. They were on the I'm going to put forth a motion to adopt the minutes as distributed.
I second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Discussion.
Commissioner Henderson.
First of all, I'm going back to bullet item number 4 under chairperson's report. Commissioner Henderson noted that, what says that I said I didn't have access to my official email account. That's actually not an accurate statement. I said I don't have consistent access to my email account. And given that I raised issues about not having consistent access to my government email account, I'm still perplexed as to why I didn't receive a copy of the minutes. And I would ask that you direct your secretary to perform her duties as prescribed and to send the minutes to all commissioners as she's supposed to.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is that a note or are you proposing a change to the minutes?
It needs to be a change, this is incorrect.
What are you proposing to change to?
That you change it to, I said, I don't have consistent access to my email account.
So-
That is a true and accurate statement.
So can you just tell us what you'd like the sentence to say?
Commissioner Henderson noted that she does not have consistent access to her official ANC email account and that you may contact me, not remove preferred, but you may also contact me at my personal email, which is khenderson029@AOL.
So I just want to play that back. So what you're proposing is to change the 4th bullet to read, Commissioner Henderson noted that she does not have consistent access to her official ANC email and that the commission contact her via personal email at khenderson029@AOL.com. Is that correct?
The commission may also contact me.
So the commission may also contact her. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
So I'm going to assume you're moving to make that amendment.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I don't have to move, correction, that's a correction to the minutes, you just need to correct it.
Every vote is a commission. So is there a second to that? Okay. I'm gonna second it because I remember that happening. So thank you for the correction. I'm actually just gonna take that as a friendly and make that change. Are there any other changes to the minutes?
One slight further discussion. Just a mere fact that a simple correction to the minutes, couldn't, engender a second, except that the chair, intervened at the last minute. It just shows the level of dysfunction that this commission is under. I mean, that's just so ridiculous that correct minutes, would not be embraced as they should be.
And I would also say, Commissioner, it's possible people don't remember, but that
Don't
being
remember a
said,
lot.
that being said, it was changed in the minutes. So there's a motion on the floor to adopt the minutes with that change we just made. It's been moved and properly seconded. If there is no further discussion, looking once, looking twice, all for adopting the minutes with those changes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all against? All opposed? I think I heard 4 votes yes, Commissioner Anderson, was that your vote? Okay. So
Abstention, I'll abstain.
Okay. So I heard four votes for, 0 votes against, and 1 abstention. That motion passes. All right, next up, we are moving to standing presentations. And first up, we have Tommy Jones from the mayor's office, who is not here. So unfortunately, we're gonna skip then to Ms. Doherty, who promised me she was gonna be here tonight. I also don't see her. She said she was coming from a previous meeting. So unfortunately, the mayor's office and the council member are not represented at our meeting tonight at this point. So next up, I think I see 506 and 507. So MPD, if you'd like to give your report, we are happy to hear from you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Lieutenant Gray, for those of you who don't know me, PSA 506. Been here for 2 years, 2.5 years now, 506. And currently, 506, we've had an uptick in robberies. And that's citywide, primarily. The robberies are citywide. Property crimes are up slightly as well. But in 506, we've had an uptick because of, we had a robbery of a bank, TD Bank. We caught the bank robber. He was robbed 3 banks, and we believe he has a 4th bank that he may have robbed as well. And we've been having some robberies on the lower end of Ford Avenue, near Morris, Neal. So that's where we've been picking up the robberies, and we've been putting out crime suppression units and additional visible manpower. PST units are redeployed in each district each week from Tuesday through Saturday. So we see that as well. Property crimes is going up. We've been having juveniles, 7-Eleven stores, whether it's on Bladesburg Road or down the Noma area. Juveniles have been going around thefts on there, so we see a lot of property crimes. We're a couple of burglars. We caught a burglar last week. Burglarized a home in a 1100 block of Mount Olivet as well. So primarily the crime is down in 506 for the year. But again, robberies are up. The whole city is targeting on robberies right now. Any questions? Yes.
Just last week, heard some gunshots. No follow-up by the police. And I remember in the past, we would hear random gunshots. Was a report made on that?
I have to check. Normally, when we get sounds of gunshots, we do a report saying that there were sounds of gunshots, especially if it's at night. Then we do a follow-up as well, because we want to come back in the daytime to make sure that we didn't miss something at nighttime. So I'm quite sure someone did a sounds of gunshot report.
Was the shot spotter? Or?
Yes, and they will go out and check that as well. Officers should get out the vehicles and search the area as well, especially at night with flashlights. Actually, the sounds of gunshots in the 506 area have been down as well.
Yes, it was just, that's why it was rare. It was rare,
Yeah,
it was rare.
so-
It was rare, that's why.
Yeah. You'll see a lot more officers. We've been doing a couple of programs with major narcotics, trying to get the solicitation down again, and the folks you've seen hanging out on West Virginia Avenue, Queen Street, things like that. We've been talking to the business owners, the apartment owners, and the business owners down there to see if we can get some stay-away orders, basically barring notices for some folks that we can take some additional action.
Yeah, so that'll be in your jurisdiction is, what is it, 1520, Holbrook?
Yeah.
I've been talking about this for 5 months. I've seen 0 evidence of anything happening. It's the same guys, same thing, same time of day, out in the open, like they own the block. I'm just wondering if someone's even gonna like drive by. I'm home during the day, my girlfriend's home at night. Nothing has changed in 5 months, and I've been coming to this meeting every single time
I
saying
can
the
tell you
exact
that
same
we've been,
thing.
since I think I sent you something in reference to that.
I know, but I've gotten an email, I've gotten one person's response out of all these times, I've emailed and all this stuff. I'm just wondering when that plan is gonna be put into effect.
Well, they're doing it now, ever since you received
I saw a drug deal when I drove away from my house tonight. I stopped and watched someone.
One of the things I can't do is sit someone right in front of the block. If they see someone out there,
Someone have to get hurt. It's a block away from a rec center, guys.
I cannot sit someone.
Children walk by them as they deal drugs.
What I can tell
out
you
in the
is this.
open, on the sidewalk.
What I can tell you is this, the officers are out there. I'll even have them come knock on your door.
Yeah, that's what I want officers at my door.
But
Yeah, that's
all-
what's smart.
We talk to, they're out there, we just cannot jack people up just because you see someone out there hanging.
They're not just hanging, if you'd sit on the corner for 5 minutes, you would see them down.
The officers are required to stay there for 10 to 15 minutes. So, again, we're not seeing them, we just had a specialized unit go down there as well. Major narcotic branch, our crime suppression guys are down there. And I'll send you a copy of the reports that they sit down.
Alright,
Alright?
I'll just start sending you video.
Okay.
Well, I just wanna suggest that, any citizens that are concerned about crime, in 506 or 505 or any other PSA, that they do what we're doing, the PSA 507 is having, public safety walks with our officers. It's an excellent opportunity to build, a sense of community, safety, and to strengthen the relationship with the police. And I certainly hope that, our new Lieutenant Parad will address that as well. And I wanna thank you for the fine work that you're doing, and I look forward to having you as part of the new realignment that's coming on board, shortly.
Thank you. You have anyone else?
Good evening, everybody. I'm a PSA 507 Lieutenant Rod. Been back here at 5E for about a month now as a lieutenant, but I did do my time here as an officer from 2004 to 2012. In PSA 507, so I'm pretty familiar with the area. Our crime right now, we're right even with robberies, 2016 compared to 2015. Our assaults with dangerous weapon are down, and our violent crime is down overall 6%, and our property crime is down 25%. So we're heading in the right direction. Obviously, any crime shouldn't be tolerated, but we are going down compared to this time last year. So I'm looking forward to that. I just want to touch base on information passed from citizens, especially the sounds of gunshots. A lot of times we have people that call in with gunshots and they don't want to be interviewed or they don't want to talk to the police, which is fine and maybe understandable. But if you let the dispatcher know or the call taker know that you will only talk to the police over the phone, we would be more than happy to call you when we're out there canvassing and you guys in the right direction. You can remain anonymous, we don't have to use that information out to the public, but if you give us that information over the phone, it's much more helpful. Because if we get 5, 6, 7 calls for gunshots, but everybody refuses to be identified, then we have no one to call back to ask additional questions, additional information. So if you tell the call taker, I don't want the police knocking on my front door, but they can call me on this number, then when we're out there looking for those gunshots, you can point us in the right direction of where the person went or where they fired the gun, so on and so forth. And that's for any crime for that matter. So I think that little bit of extra information, a phone number for us to call you back when we're on the scene would be very helpful.
Senator, I just want to commend the 507 team and reaffirm what you just said for anyone that has any doubt. You know that we had an incident at the end of my street last weekend where we heard the sound of 16 gunshots going off in rapid succession, and immediately called. Your officers were there in about 3 minutes. When they initially came, they didn't really, not much happened. They wasn't sure, I think, where it was coming from. I talked to the neighbors in proximity who shared what they saw. I called back and they found 16 casings. And so I just say thank you for following through. But I would also say it's very easy to assume someone else is gonna make that call. And it's just really important that as we head into summer that everyone feels that responsibility. I just say thank you for your work.
I agree, thank you. And ShotSpotter is very helpful to get us in the general area, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint accuracy. As accurate as we want it to be, buildings and everything else play a part into how accurate it is as far as telling us what to do. So even though it gives us a quick response or a quick advisement of gunshots and gets in the right area, sometimes it's hard to find them, especially at night.
Yeah, that particular incident was also fortunate because we had just finished a safety walk and the officers were still out in the 800 block of 21st Street and citizens, and we were talking and we heard the sounds of gunshots and the police were less than 3 feet away. So I thought that was pretty good timing. Also, I want to bring your attention, I've already spoken to Commander Fitzgerald about this, but robberies are up and citizens are not calling 911. And we need their break-ins in cars. We had someone who was frantically lost his computer. People are taking things out of cars. And there may even be some homework into people not reporting. So I am requesting that in addition to the patrols, that you all also patrol the alleys.
Absolutely, and I'm sure crime, I mean, I wouldn't want to use the word up without the fact to support it. I'm sure there's crimes that go unreported, but unfortunately, that'd be a prediction or assumption that I wouldn't be comfortable making on how many robberies or theft models are occurring. I'm sure people may get robbed or people may get their car broken into.
Yeah, they'll tell me about it, and I always encourage them.
And they don't call the police, but there's very little we can do that. I encourage people to call the police.
Of course.
I'm not concerned about the numbers. I want people to be safe, and I need that information. So for me, it's not a numbers thing. If someone gets robbed, I encourage them to call someone else and follow up on.
Also, one more thing, I've received some complaints about, children playing, ball in the streets, hitting people's cars. That has been a traditional problem in our community, H Place, H Street. And we wanna make sure that the officers are sensitive to that and they stop that. We have 3 recreation centers, in our area, and we have the Department of Parks and Recreation actually working on some programming for us during the summer. So we don't need children hitting people's vehicles, in the streets, because one of my constituents complained about a brand new car dented, by children playing football in the street.
I'll bring it to the attention of officers.
Commissioner Black, on your last question.
Yes, ma'am.
One of my constituents called me last night, 19th and Fifth Place, on my side of the street, there is, a lot of drug activity going on. There's smoking in front of the residents, houses, and, everything, so is it possible I can get your business card, if you have one, so I can pass the information on? And also, I understand there was a safety walk on the 30th. I would like to be informed when y'all have y'all safety walks, because that was in my area. And, I just wanna be informed, when y'all have these safety walks, so I can be a part of it since it was in my area, and I wasn't notified until 30 minutes before the safety walk.
Absolutely.
Well, if I can speak to that, first of all, I organize the safety walk, they're my initiative. Half of the Bennett Place is within Single Member District 5D05, and as a courtesy, I also post these safety walks on the MPD listserv. So anyone is welcome to join us, and the more the merrier. This is one community, and even though I'm taking the initiative, to protect the interest of my constituents, in doing so, it actually protects the whole community. So anyone that's interested in participating in these walks, there's another one coming up. They're on the listserv.
Yes,
We are over
because,
time.
like I said, she just didn't know, I wasn't finished, I was interrupted. Again, that was in my area, I would like to be notified in advance, please, not 30 minutes before. I have a constituent right here, she's very upset because Commissioner Henderson is not allowed in 2 of my areas, okay?
Just so that everyone else, just before we,
That's so
like I said,
crazy.
if you can join as many people as you can get. You can get on the Friday listserv, that's where we post a lot of information as well. And if you wanna post something there for us to check out as well, please do so, and you can get on from entering on the website, the instructions how to get onto the listserv.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we are gonna go to single member district reports. Again, commissioners, we have 1 minute only. That's the agenda that we adopted. We have 1 minute for these items. We're gonna go as usual in order. 5D01 is Commissioner Lewis is not here, so we'll start with 5D02 and Commissioner Shropshire.
So this coming Saturday, I have a single member district meeting at the Trinidad Rec Center. And I have a few people on the agenda. I have Casey Trees coming to talk about their residential trees program. I have Pepco Right Place Tree Planting Program to come to talk about the programs that they have for trees being planted in the neighborhood. And I also have the Department of Employment Services coming out to do a career boot camp for those who have interest in getting employment through, the DC networks. They will actually do a demonstration on how you can sign up with that and give some very actionable strategies and tools for actually applying for jobs in their system. So I have flyers back on the table if you're interested.
Thank you, Commissioner Shropshire. So again, hi, I'm Adam Roberts for 5D03, and Joel for being here. So I had three things. First thing is that Commissioner Blackwell and I co-hosted a single member district meeting 2 weekends ago. Despite some pretty hurricane level rain, we had a lot of folks who came and wanted to thank the folks that did come out to that. We started some really excellent conversations about how to move public safety forward throughout the summer. Second thing, I don't see any 5D03 folks here, but some may be familiar with Sergeant Kopp. Sergeant Kopp and I had some conversations several weeks ago about some changes to 18 and M and dealing with some issues that have been happening there. So we are moving forward quite well on the 18th Street area and the M Street area as well. And then lastly, this is not in my single member district, but for those that know, I do work at KFCC, and I'm going to make a little advertisement for their play. This is in 5D01. KFCC College Grammar High School is doing a production of Grease on May 20th and 21st. Please support our youth. 5D04.
Mr. Chair, I would like to give my 1 minute up to my constituents when it's time for, community, concerns, please.
5D04.
Wow, there's so much. Let's see, organized 2 successful safety walks for the 30th and the 6th. We'll have more. I want to thank my constituents who participated. And we had an excellent cookout / meet and greet with the police that was very well attended. It was a really wonderful event. I see a representative from DPW here. I'm very pleased by the support that DPW is giving the community. 19th Street is slowly transitioning from the zone of chaos into the zone of normalcy. We will continue to hold cleanups and to fortify that area, and sanitation enforcement is a part of that issue. I did have a meeting last night with the Office of the People's Counsel, also to address the issues at the Jet 2 Tenants Association. There are a lot of problems with the building. The owner is forcing the tenants to pay for electricity, even though the leases say that electricity is included in the leases.
That's your wrap up.
There's some slumlord issues, and we are moving forward to make sure that the rights of my constituents, which reside in 10 of those 35 buildings, are protected, and all of the building residents.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. 5D07.
I'd like to add my minutes and ask Commissioner Bugs, Commissioner Lewis minutes be added to the community concern.
Everyone was given 1 minute, so I guess there's a motion to do that, but we've got to keep it equal for everybody.
Okay, well, I want to give mine up to the community.
Oh, you're giving it up?
Yeah, and I'm
Sorry,
gonna
you wanted it then.
yeah, can we add Commissioner Bugs, Commissioner Lewis's minutes to the?
To the community concerns?
Yeah.
Commissioners, are there any objections to that?
No.
So we're gonna basically add
4
2
minutes.
minutes. 4 minutes, okay.
Commissioner Blackstone, okay.
Right, we're gonna add 4 minutes to community concerns, so seeing no objections to that, we'll go ahead and just make that change. So with that, this is our portion of community concerns, and what we did last time, I think worked pretty well. This is your opportunity to share any concerns that you have that you would like either the commission to address, or if our folks from the mayor's office or his councilor's office were here, they would address that as well. But we would ask that you, if you can, share your name, share the address or location of the issue, and just tell us sort of